In December 1779, a large convoy sailed from England to Gibraltar, escorted by 21 ships of the line under the command of Admiral George Rodney. On their way, they encountered and captured a Spanish convoy off Cape Finisterre on the 8th of January 1780. They planned to provision the Gibraltar garrison further with the goods they had captured. The Spanish soon learned of the convoy and sent a fleet under Juan de Longara to intercept it, but underestimated the escort's strength, and Longara's ships soon had to flee. Rodney caught up with and defeated the Spanish fleet at the Battle of Cape St. Vincent, taking 5 ships of the line and additional supplies. The fleet easily penetrated the Spanish blockade and reached Gibraltar on the 25th of January 1780. Bringing reinforcements of 1,050 to men of the 73rd Highland Regiment of Foot under George Mackenzie and an abundance of supplies, including the captured Spanish goods. This greatly heartened the garrison. But as soon as Rodney's fleet left, the siege resumed. The British defenders resisted every attempt to capture Gibraltar by assault, while the two sides unceasingly exchanged shot and shell. By the end of the summer, provisions once again began to run low, and scurvy started to reappear, thus reducing the effective strength of the garrison. Through the use of small, fast-sailing ships that ran the blockade, they were able to keep in communication with the British forces besieged on Minorca, but that force was also low on supplies. On the 7th of June 1780, the two largest ships of Gibraltar, HMS Panther and HMS Enterprise, were targeted within Gibraltar's harbour by Spanish fireships. Warning shots from Enterprise alerted the garrison, and soon an intense bombardment slowed the fireships. A few were sunk, but the others carried on. The Spanish fleet waited just outside the harbour for any British ships trying to escape, so seamen from Panther and Enterprise set out in longboats, intercepted the fireships, and towed them off course. Throughout the second winter, the garrison faced foes, elements, disease, and starvation. By March, the situation was serious. The garrison and civilians were on weekly rations and in need of a large supply. For the Spanish, the blockade was working, with the few small ships that slipped past the blockade carrying insufficient supplies. On the 12th of April 1781, Vice Admiral George Darby's squadron of 29 ships of the line, escorting 100 store ships from England, entered the bay, despite the Spanish fleet. The Spanish, frustrated by this failure, for the first time in the siege, opened up a terrific barrage while the stores were unloaded. Although they caused great damage to the town, the South Mole, where the ships unloaded their stores, was out of their reach. The civilian population of about 1,000 sailed with Derby for England on the 21st of April, leaving the garrison with fewer mouths to feed and allowing them to operate more freely. Provisions for the garrison were now plentiful, including black powder, guns and ammunition, as well as food and other supplies.